Good morning and welcome to Monday, January 27th, 2020. And today is our first devotion in the book of Zechariah. We finished with Daniel. We had a brief pause yesterday with Matthew, and today we're jumping right into the book of Zechariah. So today we're going to be in Zechariah 1, verse 8. And our devotion is titled The First Vision. So here we go, Zechariah 1:8. I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse. And he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom, and behind them were their red horses, speckled and white. The book of Zechariah is full of symbolism. With a careful study of the passages, one can interpret the symbol in relation to Judah's Babylonian captivity. The Israelites had been slaves in Babylon for 70 years. It was time for God to bring his people back to the promised land. The rider on the red horse stood among myrtle trees, accompanied by horses of speckled and white color. The horses of different colors represent the many tribes of Gentiles that had taken the Israelites captive. The riders appeared to be angels sent by God among the Gentile nations that had destroyed Jerusalem and the temple. The myrtle tree in prophecy often represents peace. The writer reported that the enemies of the people of Judah and Israel were content and living in peace. God's jealousy over his people was about to turn to rage. However, the angel appealed to the Lord to have mercy, and the Lord promised Israel's return and rebuilding of the city and temple. Many nations have tried to destroy the nation of Israel. Those nations are now a pile of rocks, and Israel is still a nation. And our final thought is, do not mistreat God's children. And Matthew 18:7 tells us, woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses to come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. You know, and I've spoken on this many times, but it's so evident, especially in modern times, to look at all the enemies that Israel has, not just in that general region of the Middle East, but the entire world. And as tiny a nation as Israel is, it continues to remain. It defies the odds, and it defies logic and common sense, because there are many nations, neighboring nations, that are much bigger than Israel, much more populated than Israel. Yet God's hand of protection remains over the country of Israel, just as the Bible prophesied and promised through the Abrahamic covenant, way back in the book of Genesis. So we can trace the history of Israel all the way back to the beginning of the Bible, and we can see the consistent truths that continue to perpetuate throughout the Bible and into modern day. So that's really exciting and very encouraging too, also for us believers, to rest our faith upon a solid foundation of truth. You know, there's so many religions out there that they want to believe certain things, yet there's no historical evidence to back it up. There's no foundation for their belief other than a faith in a false god or false religion. Yet Christianity has factual, evidential truth behind it. And that's encouraging to the believer, and it gives power to our faith. Even though we may not see God face to face, we see evidence of God through his works and his promises that we read in the Bible. So that should be an encouragement for me and for you and for all believers. And if you're not a believer, take that leap of faith. Let it be, it will be the greatest decision you'll ever make in your life. Take that leap of faith, put your trust in the Lord, and then watch Jesus work his miracles through you and all around you. Once you become a child of God, you become more aware of God's surroundings and his constant, perpetual love for you and his comforting protection that he provides us. So I hope that's been a great encouragement for you. I hope you can go throughout your day today knowing that we rest on biblical truths for our faith, and that should be reassuring to anybody. So enjoy Zechariah. I encourage you to read the whole chapter. Again, we only read 1 or 2 verses a day out of an entire chapter of probably 30 to 40 verses. So I encourage you to go read the whole chapter to get a better context of what we're talking about. But we just don't have time in a daily devotion to read all the verses, so we just pull the meat out of it, so to speak, and provide you the 1 or 2 most important verses. But again, read the whole book, chapter by chapter, and let it be a blessing to you, and just continue to feed your soul and keep you nourished. So until tomorrow, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, have a blessed day, and we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.